Hello there, Strafing once again. This is Titanfall 2. This is Master Difficulty, and this is going to be a little passion project of mine that I've been thinking about doing for a while now, because I really like this game, and I made a walkthrough for this game when it first came out on Master Difficulty. It's available on the channel right now, full playlist, it's all done. But I wasn't a Titanfall player at that time. I was a Call of Duty player and a first-person shooter in general kind of player, so I played the game in a very specific kind of way. And I don't think that that's how, you should aspire to play this game in a lot of ways. You can do it and you'll have success, but this game goes a little bit deeper. So for the purposes of going a little bit deeper, I wanted to bring my newly gained knowledge of the Titans, of the movement, of just the general high-octane, high-speed version that this game offers when it comes to the gunplay. And I wanted to see if it was possible to play Titanfall 2 like a pilot, rather than like a soldier. So that's what this series is going to be. If you enjoy this, and if you like this, show the support on the channel, and I'll bring more of it. If it's one of those things that's dead in the water and nobody cares about, then I'll just leave it, and it can be something that I can enjoy for myself. But if you are interested, and you show it, then I will gladly share more of this. But it's just something to test the waters, folks. Just a little bit different gameplay, featuring a game I really like that maybe you don't know about, or maybe you've never seen played in this specific way. And what will be happening is there's going to be a lot of transitions, there's going to be a lot of creative license here, as I get rid of all the slower downtime moments, and then it enables me to play and do what I'm trying to do here. None of this was scripted either, guys. None of this was planned or pre-worked out. It was all just come up with on the spot, just being creative and having fun with the game, because the game affords you a lot of flexibility. And this is the first part of it. So running off that first wall, I'm going to be taking the momentum into a slide, jumping out of the slide into a second slide, while chaining my movement to the next wall. And I'm going to be doing a technique known as bunny hopping, or slide hopping, which is essentially, all you have to do, guys, is when you come off of any kind of momentum, if you crouch in midair, and the moment you land, if you jump and crouch, and you keep chaining those together, you will keep your momentum and move very quickly. There is one trick to this that will definitely help, which is this notion of a legacy input that is holdover from the old Source days, which is to say that when you move through the air in this game, and you hold forward, you will slow down. I know, right? It sounds kind of goofy, doesn't it? Well, that's how the game works. You will actually impede your movement if you hold forward, which doesn't make any sense, but it's just the way that the engine functions. So to get around this and to keep your momentum, I'm going to be holding left or right whenever I'm in midair. The only alternative to this is when I'm on a wall. When you're on a wall, you need to hold forward to keep momentum on the wall, and when you do the second double jump, you have to hold forward to do that. That was a mistake just then, I didn't mean to hit the tree, but I'm going to bunny hop over this chasm, I'm going to throw a grenade, and I'm going to get a checkpoint just here. So, after the checkpoint, there's going to be a lot of dudes in front of me at this point, so I'm going to clean just a couple of them up so I can get enough time to sprint forward and do my mobility. Because on Master Difficulty, you die so quickly that a lot of the times, if you have people shooting at you while you're doing it, they're too accurate and you'll just die in midair. So I get a little bit of an opening, I start boosting forward now, I slow my momentum ever so slightly, but I'm about to hit a wall. And the walls work wonderfully in this game. The moment you touch a wall, if you jump off it, you will have max momentum, essentially. And from there, you can proceed to chain it like I'm doing right now, into a couple of slides, into a couple of bunny hops, just to get over to this little bridge. I should be running now, because I've lost my momentum, but I'm kind of committing to the bounce, and then I hop over here, get past these creatures, and then continue up onto the next part of the level. But to a lot of people, this might look like a speed run, and it's not intended to be that way, guys. I am not averse to shooting enemies, I like shooting enemies, but in this game, using your mobility is your best weapon. And I wanted to see whether or not it could overcome the harder difficulties, because on normal, it might work perfectly, because the enemies don't kill you fast enough for it to be a big deal. But on Master, they put you down incredibly quickly, so the mobility at times can save your life, but it can also get you killed. And there's a couple of moments in the campaign where I tried my balls off to try and get some kind of fast, high-octane, super good gameplay that looked fun to watch, and it just doesn't work, because you get murked too quickly. And I was surprised just how much of the campaign you can do what I'm about to do in it, but there are those moments where it was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to slow this down, and it's a shame too, because there was some really fun sections, some really crazy moments, but I just couldn't convert them into fun gameplay. But coming down here, you can carry the slide momentum into this next area, but it killed me in the air just then. It just dead dropped me, so I have to kind of move with it. But you might be watching this and wondering, Chris, how are you moving like this? How are you turning? When I do it, I only go straight forward, and I'm kind of limited as I pick off these grunts that are next to BT. Well, that's another technique that you're going to have to learn if you're interested in moving like this for multiplayer purposes or just for fun. And it's called air strafing. And it's, once again, it's something that's been around since the dawn of the arena shooters. I think even in Quake, with the bunny hopping and everything, you could do it back then. I personally wasn't too familiar with it because, of course, when I was playing Quake, I was a kid. I couldn't probably read the fucking menus, let alone understand advanced techniques that people figured out via scrimming multiplayer. But air strafing is another concept that is fundamentally simple, but getting your head around it and practicing it is going to take you quite a long time. And even when you know what it is, it's one of those finesseful techniques that takes a long time to get competent with and for it to feel natural. And then right here, this wall doesn't wall run, which is bullshit. This is Crash Site 101. Look at this, like, so far this video's been beautiful. We've been moving, we've been fast, we've been bouncing, we've been bunny hopping and everything, and then we hit this brick wall of, we didn't design this part to be wall runnable because we want you to do a double jump. It's so video gamey, it's kind of frustrating, but we get past it, we get our momentum back into the bunny hops, back into the air strafes, the wall runs, the majestic high flying action, and I can get back to explaining the air strafe. So, remember how I said holding left and right while you're going through the air keeps and maintains your momentum? Well, if you hold left while you're in midair, and you slightly aim to the left, moving both analogs to the left, you will angle your momentum to the left. And it's the same with the right, of course. And with subtle use of that technique, you can kind of guide yourself in midair to do things you simply cannot do without the utilization of this technique. And it will enable you to turn like I'm doing there. And if you do it too hard and look to the right too quickly, it won't work, you'll lose momentum. But if you do it gradually, with a finesse, you will keep all of your speed. And these two techniques, YouTube is full of tutorials on how to do them, guys, it's everywhere. There's plenty of other See, I thought changing a weapon while you held a grenade would keep the grenade. I'm sure there's a way that you can keep your grenade in animation cancel, but it didn't work then, and I nearly died. But this was tricky, so I wanted to take the momentum off of the zip line to do some bouncing to get underneath the turret, because I know there's a checkpoint here. There was the checkpoint. From there, I hit my cloak, I bunny hop over to this building, and I'm going to do the crazy ladder climb, where you jump between two surfaces to keep refreshing your jumps. And then over here, this dude with the EPG turns up, so I put him down. There's another one, another EPG robot, put him down. And then wait for your cloak to come back, and the strategy's simple. Cloak, slide off of this air conditioning unit, throw an arc grenade there, and then bunny hop past all the grunts. If you do this correctly, you should keep a lot of momentum, and you should be able to get all the way over here to the vent, and that's another section that you've completely skipped. And then we can push forward and continue onwards. But there are a couple of other things that you can do with the movement that you're not going to see here. You can damage boost, which is something that comes from old school games. We're talking NES games, arcade games, where when you take damage in those type of games, you were generally invincible and it would push you and give you a momentum boost, and people would use that to do jumps and to do things that you weren't meant to do. And this game is no different. If you cook a grenade and then you're on a really high sensitivity, and as you're running on a wall, if you turn around and throw the grenade behind you and you get caught in the blast, it will push you forward. And you can use that momentum by using air strafing and bunny hopping to keep it and move faster. And it's a difficult technique to do, but it's definitely viable if you want to experiment. You can probably do it with the EPG as well, and maybe some other areas. But right now, watch the momentum I'm going to get here. See this? That's all from that slide. Because I was able to keep the momentum from that slide, I am now moving a lot faster than I normally would if I'd have just jumped on the wall. Which is beautiful because it enables you to do this really nice choreographed piece of wall running. And then up here I'm going to bunny hop into a transition because I got killed by the Spectres. So there's about 4 or 5 Spectres here. I'm going to use BT as cover, and I'm going to put them down with a flatline. Flatline's not my favourite gun. It's powerful, it's got good kick, but I don't think it's very accurate. And the biggest enemy here is clipping on BT. So, do you see how fast you die? Look at that, that was like 1 bullet from a Spectre, and it put me to some serious damage, and there's another one just over there. So put him down, There you go. And I believe there's just that thing, whatever that is doing. That was interesting. It damaged me with the explosion. One more guy alive, just to my right. I can't quite see him. There he is. Couple of bullets down range, puts him down, and the prompt on the screen tells us that we've got the final battery, and we can give it to BT, and we can get introduced to the Titan mechanics. So BT is kind of an interesting Titan because he has the ability to swap between all of the different custom Titan styles. And if you're familiar with Titanfall 1, you'll be at home with this, because on Titanfall 1 you could kind of customize your Titan to do what you wanted it to do, what you wanted it to use, what abilities it had, all that kind of good stuff. Titanfall 2 took that away. It became more or less classes, and individual situations and needs were met by each Titan. In the campaign, that line is blurred. In the campaign, you can swap between loadouts on the fly, and you can cause some serious havoc by doing this. But you have to do a little tutorial there, so I've completely skipped it, because you don't want to see me doing the stupid tutorial. And I push up here because there's going to be a Brute, I think he is. It's one of the, I think it's a Strider class Titan. They look like North Stars, and it has a quad rocket launcher. So I immediately drop the electric smoke to try and put some damage on him, and I'm just going to be assailing him, trying to catch his rockets with my vortex shield, and then shooting him in his critical points. Because if you don't know, folks, the Titans generally have areas of their bodies that will shine red when you shoot them, and you'll get a red reticle on your hit marker. This signifies that you hit a crit, and critical spots do more damage. It's simple mathematics, right? Simple video games. So you want to always try and hit the critical spots. On this particular dude, it's on the nose of his helmet. So just keep shooting him in the face, keep engaging, and using your tools, using your rocket launchers, and just get comfortable with how to use your particular Titan. And there we go, our first engagement is done. Reload the XO, push forward, and that will be the end of the level, guys. Thank you very much for watching, I hope you enjoyed it, and if you show the video support, I will gladly share more of it. But once again, guys, I'm going to try and experiment with this project, because you might not want to see this might have been boring to you, but I felt it was a really fun thing that I was making, and I hope you feel the same. But yeah, you take care now.